What if everything you've been told about happiness is wrong? Imagine spending your entire life chasing something that keeps moving just out of reach. And the strangest part? Your own brain may be the reason you'll never catch it. We tell ourselves, I'll be happy when I make more money, when I finally fall in love, when life becomes easier. But somehow, that moment never arrives. Millions of people wake up every morning believing happiness is waiting somewhere in the future. Tomorrow, next year, the next promotion, the next relationship. But happiness doesn't disappear. We simply keep looking in the wrong direction. Psychology has spent decades studying one question. Why do some people smile with almost nothing, while others remain empty despite having everything? The answer begins inside one tiny organ. 3 pounds of tissue, nearly 100 billion neurons, the most powerful storyteller you'll ever meet. Your brain. Your brain wasn't designed to make you happy, it was designed to keep you alive. And those are two very different jobs. Thousands of years ago, noticing danger meant survival. Missing a threat could mean death. So evolution gave your brain a powerful habit. Focus on what might go wrong. That survival system never disappeared. It simply followed us into modern life. Today, the predator isn't always outside. Sometimes, it's inside your own thoughts. One negative comment can erase 10 compliments. One failure can overshadow years of success. Your brain calls this protection, but it often feels like suffering. So here's the mystery. If our brains naturally search for danger, then how do some people seem genuinely happy? What secret have they discovered that most of us completely overlook? The answer begins with a single psychological illusion. Imagine running toward the horizon. No matter how fast you move, it never gets any closer. Happiness often works the same way. We believe it's waiting just beyond the next achievement, but every finish line creates another one. Psychologists call this hedonic adaptation. It's your brain's remarkable ability to get used to almost anything, even the life you once dreamed of. Think back. Remember something you desperately wanted? A new phone, a dream job, a bigger house. For a while, it felt incredible. Then, it became normal. Your brain isn't trying to steal your happiness. It's simply trying to save energy. What becomes familiar becomes invisible. That's why people can achieve everything they once wished for and still whisper the same painful words. Something is missing. Social media quietly makes the illusion even stronger. Every swipe convinces your brain that someone else is living the life you should have. But remember, you're comparing your private reality to someone else's carefully edited highlight reel. That's not comparison, it's illusion. Happiness doesn't disappear because life becomes worse. Sometimes, it disappears because comparison becomes louder than gratitude. And yet, the happiest people aren't the ones who have the most. They're often the ones who notice the most. So maybe happiness isn't something you find. Maybe it's something you've been overlooking all along. But before we uncover that truth, there's one powerful habit hidden inside your mind that silently steals joy every single day. Close your eyes for just a moment. Listen carefully. There's a voice speaking inside your head. It never gets tired. It never takes a day off. And whether you realize it or not, that voice is shaping your happiness every single day. Your mind tells stories. Sometimes they're hopeful, sometimes they're terrifying. The problem is, your brain rarely stops to ask if those stories are actually true. A friend doesn't answer your message. Minutes pass, then hours. Suddenly, your imagination fills the silence with fear. Maybe they're upset, maybe you did something wrong. But the truth hasn't changed, only the story has. Psychologists have discovered that our emotions often don't come from events themselves. They come from the meaning we attach to those events. Change the meaning, and the emotion begins to change with it. Imagine two people standing in the rain. One curses the weather, the other smiles, because the rain reminds them of childhood. Same storm, different story, different happiness. Your brain is constantly searching for evidence to support whatever you already believe. Believe the world is against you, and you'll notice every disappointment. Believe there's still hope, and suddenly, you'll start seeing opportunities. This doesn't mean pretending life is perfect. Pain is real, loss is real, fear is real, but hope can be just as real. And your brain has room for both. Researchers have found something remarkable. The more attention we give to small moments of gratitude, the more our brains begin noticing them automatically. It's almost like changing the lens through which we see life. Maybe happiness isn't hidden inside extraordinary moments. Maybe it's quietly waiting inside ordinary ones. Moments we've stopped noticing because we've been too busy chasing something bigger. But there's one final piece of the puzzle. One truth that changes how we understand happiness forever. And once you see it, you may never spend another day chasing happiness the same way again. Here is the truth no one tells you. Happiness was never meant to be a permanent destination. It's not a place you arrive at. It's a feeling that visits, and leaves, and returns again. We suffer because we expect happiness to stay forever. But no emotion stays forever. Not sadness, not fear, not joy. Human emotions were designed to move. Just like the seasons, the happiest people aren't happy all the time. They're human. They cry, they fail, they grieve, but they stop fighting every painful emotion. And that's where peace begins, because happiness isn't the absence of pain. It's the ability to keep loving life, even when pain exists. And psychology has discovered something remarkable. Meaning often creates deeper happiness than pleasure. Pleasure feels good. Purpose gives life direction. Raising a child can be exhausting. Building something meaningful can be difficult. Helping another person can require sacrifice. Yet these moments often become the ones we treasure most. Maybe happiness isn't asking, "What can I get from life?" Maybe it begins when we ask, "What can I give?" Connection, kindness, presence. Because at the end of life, very few people wish they had bought more things. Most wish they had loved more deeply, spent more time, and truly been present. So perhaps happiness was never hiding from you. Perhaps it was quietly waiting. In the people beside you. In gratitude. In meaning. In this very moment. Happiness isn't something you chase. It's something you notice. Something you nurture. Something you share. So tonight, before you search for a better life, pause for a moment, and ask yourself, what beautiful thing have I already been overlooking?